Hold your horses and imagine this. 220 million people in Pakistan, all just one step away from catastrophe. No, it's not the script of a new doomsday flick, it's the current state of affairs in Pakistan. They say that one man's misery is another man's entertainment, and if you're looking for a prime example of how a country can go down the drain, Pakistan's got you covered. We'll be talking about everything from terrorism to political corruption to even more.
Oh boy, can't wait to hear the story of how Pakistan got to where it is today. I'm sure it's just sunshine and rainbows.
Well, if you don't shut up, we'll never get there. Our history, the good old chain of links that connects past to present. But let's not forget to take a good, hard look at the present with a clear mind, sans any rose-tinted glasses.
Were you talking to me?
We're about to take a closer look at Pakistan. Hold on to your seats, folks, because this ride might get bumpy. You know what they say, to understand the future, we have to go back to the beginning. So stay tuned until the end to see the full picture, and don't forget to bring your magnifying glass. Pakistan's current political situation can be best described as a stalemate, with tensions between parties and the establishment reaching a fever pitch. The ousting of former Prime Minister Imran Khan before his appointed time in 2022 has caused a backlash against the Pakistan Democratic Movement, or PDM, and the military. Khan was a populist leader who promised to bring change to Pakistan, but whether or not he succeeded is still up for debate.
Oh wow, another political stalemate in Pakistan. Is this the 3,845th time or the 3,846th time? I forget.
Let's not keep count. I don't think you're that smart. The country is now a powder keg, with the possibility of a spark igniting a catastrophe. The polarization of Pakistani politics is a result of years of dissatisfaction and conflict between parties, with the military's role becoming increasingly criticized as people become more aware of its past and present interventions in politics. That, and there's another enemy, a secret foe that you can't defeat with guns.
Enforced disappearances, propaganda, and corruption? Sounds like a recipe for success.
Unfortunately, all of the current conflicts are the result of seeds sown long before. And with the doomsday clock ticking ever closer to midnight, Pakistan's future hangs in the balance. But how exactly did things get here? What happened that started this road to ruin? Prior to the partition, the subcontinent was a colony of the British Crown. After World War II, Britain granted independence to both Pakistan and India, but they didn't quite tie up all the loose ends.
Oh well, just let the newly formed countries figure everything out on their own. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, you can imagine. One such loose end is the Kashmir issue, a hotly debated topic among political theorists in South Asia. Both Pakistan and India claim Kashmir is their domain.
Yeah, no big deal. Just a long-standing territorial dispute that could escalate into a full-blown conflict. No worries.
Well, it's always been a hurdle to peace. During the partition, millions of Muslims migrated to Pakistan amidst racial riots, mass slaughter, and loss of life. This mass migration put an enormous strain on Pakistan's economy, and the divide of resources between Pakistan and India led to ongoing contention. Pakistan's history has been marked by military interventions, corruption, and racial discrimination, leading to the separation of Bangladesh. Many of the same issues that led to the separation of Bangladesh still exist in Pakistan today. Each period of rise and stability is just a calm before an even greater storm.
But hey, at least they have some periods of rise and stability to look forward to, right? Right?
In a manner of speaking, Pakistan's economics is a tale of its own. Let's check it out. Pakistan's initial years were fraught with economic instabilities. However, it faced a resurgence during the reign of Ayub Khan in the late 50s to 60s. Industries were cropping up and many dams were built. However, it has to be noted that growth was not enjoyed equally across the board. While West Pakistan enjoyed an economic boon, East Pakistan did not. With industrialization plans lacking, East Pakistan was stagnant. Later, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto introduced socialist policies and abandoned Ayub Khan's fervent capitalistic approach. However, growth rates still fell, and the rich got richer while the poor continued to get poorer. Both inflation and poverty were on the rise. After Bhutto, General Zia-ul-Haq usurped power and an era of privatization took place. While a boost was noticed, political rivalries eventually derailed economic development. The back and forth between different policies and stakeholders became a theme.
The classic approach of undoing whatever the previous guy did because why not? It's not like the people are the ones suffering from this.
Growth continued to stagnate as Pakistan approached IMF multiple times for bailouts. However, with no proper practical reforms to grow the economy and unchecked corruption running rampant, the country continued digging deeper into a hole. The wealthy began to amass more wealth and executed policies favoring them rather than catering to the people. By the time the 2020s rolled around, Pakistan was on the brink of another collapse. This situation is similar to Sri Lanka, whose economy collapsed in the wake of the pandemic.
Well, it's nice to see they have a plan in place. I mean, if their goal is to become another country with a collapsed economy, then they're definitely on the right track.
Pakistan has one small advantage though: its place in the world. I mean physically, not in terms of hierarchy. Let's just move on. Pakistan, located in a peculiar place on the world map, has found itself in interesting relationships with its neighbors. While Pakistan has a history of strained relations with India, it's become fast friends with China, even helping to build the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a major project under the Belt and Road Initiative. However, progress on the project has been slow, and many abandoned projects have caused concerns about the reliability of the Chinese funding.
Looks like the Chinese well Pakistan has been turning to may well dry up.
Pakistan also borders Afghanistan, where the Taliban government is in power after a peace deal brokered by Pakistan. While enmity between the two countries remains, smuggling of goods and people across the porous borders is common. Unfortunately, so are terror elements.
Yeah, it's the Wild West out there, but with religious extremists instead of cowboys.
You can say that again. The rise of extremist groups in Pakistan can be attributed to several factors, such as the political instability, poverty, and sectarian tensions. These groups have exploited religious sentiment to mobilize support and carry out acts of violence.
It's like trying to put out a fire with a watering can. Good luck with that.
Social unrest is the norm here. Whenever Pakistan tries to crawl itself out, the lack of foundational development always seems to drag it back. Here's why. Poverty, illiteracy, and inequality are some of the biggest challenges Pakistan is currently facing. These issues are closely linked with the country's growing population. Unfortunately, poverty is a major challenge in Pakistan, with a significant portion of the population living below the poverty line.
Poverty leads to instability and unrest. But hey, at least poor communities get to be marginalized and excluded from political processes.
The military is the head honcho in the country. Military conflicts have had a significant impact on Pakistan's stability and security, with the proliferation of militant groups being one of the most significant consequences. Pakistan has been accused of supporting militant groups involved in the conflict in Kashmir and those operating in Afghanistan, leading to attacks on Pakistani soil and contributing to political and social instability.
So, Pakistan supports these militant groups, and they attack Pakistan? Brilliant strategy.
Military conflicts have also strained Pakistan's relationship with neighboring countries. The ongoing conflict with India over Kashmir has resulted in deep-seated hostility between the two countries, fueling tensions and instability in the region. The conflicts have also had economic consequences, diverting resources towards defense spending and impacting the country's economy, contributing to economic instability and underdevelopment.
I'm beginning to think the shoot first, ask questions later policy of armies won't work when dealing with economic instability.
You're right. This is the case with perhaps Pakistan's biggest challenge yet.
You mean there's more?
Pakistan faces many challenges that threaten its stability and security. While military conflicts and poverty have long been a concern, a new foe has emerged that cannot be defeated with guns and bullets. That foe is climate change.
Oh great, just what we needed. Another thing we can't shoot at.
Pakistan is one of the countries most affected by climate change, and recent floods have shown that the country is ill prepared to protect its citizens from the effects of this global phenomenon.
Well, that's just fantastic. I'm sure the citizens are thrilled to know that their government had no plan for protecting them from Mother Nature.
In addition to floods, Pakistan is also prone to earthquakes, as it sits on a fault line that connects the Indian plate to Asia. While earthquakes are expected, the one that occurred in 2005 had a devastating impact, resulting in the loss of almost 80,000 lives, according to the Encyclopedia Britannica 2023. And just this year, a devastating flood displaced millions of people, causing widespread damage to infrastructure and exasperating poverty and food insecurity in affected areas.
So, what's the solution?
Pakistan has faced significant challenges when it comes to political stability, development and security. The constant changes in government, political corruption, and weak institutions have all contributed to political instability in the country.
I'm sure there are lessons, but who's going to learn them?
Well, someone has to. The current economic situation in Pakistan is also challenging. The country is facing significant debt and fiscal challenges, with a large trade deficit and a high debt-to-GDP ratio. The country's foreign exchange reserves have been declining, and there's a risk of default on external debt payments. The potential after effects of a default would be severe, including a downgrade in the country's credit rating and increased borrowing costs.
Oh yes, defaulting on debt always leads to great things.
Well. Pakistan has quite the mountain to climb, doesn't it? To get out of this mess, they'll have to work their behinds off from top to bottom, which, let's be honest, isn't exactly their forte. But hey, maybe if they come up with some fancy new economic policies that actually help the poor for once and cozy up to China and their friends, they might just have a shot at climbing up the next rung of the ladder. Whether that's possible or not, well, we'll just have to wait and see.